Episode 8
이상해?
of Light Shop begins 5 years ago, with Youngji in the ICU ward. She
고마웠어요.
has just woken up from her
너
accident and is allowed to keep the music player
크리스마스
by the
선물.
head nurse. Years later, she uses the same music player for the ICU patient searching for the mob. The scene then cuts to the present, where that same patient finally regains consciousness. Meanwhile, in the other world, Ji Young continues stitching Hai and Min together. Unable to wait any longer, she boards the bus and demands to know why Hai and Min cannot recognize her. At this moment, Hai and Min notices the wound on his torso. Back at home, he finally recognizes Ji Young, who tells him to visit the light shop. Meanwhile, Sung Won, the bus driver, arrives at Seon Hee's house. He sees Hai Won and asks if she is also dead like him. He feels guilty and apologizes for driving the bus that day even though the brakes were not working properly. Hai Won says that he is guilty and that he should be sorry, but also states that the misfortune was meant to happen and that they should move on now. Hai Won directs him to Hai and Ju's apartment complex and asks for his help. There, Sung Won meets Hai and Ju's mother and apologizes to her. We learn that Hai and Ju's mother cannot speak because her mouth is filled with cotton due to her ongoing funeral. She later arrives at the light shop and asks Won Young to help her deliver a light bulb to Hai and Ju.
너만 사니? 네, 엄마랑 둘이서. 현준이 사귀군요. 너무 쉽게 말합니다. 되게 오셨습니까? 아닙니다.
Won Young refuses, of course, until Hai and Ju's mother gestures toward his candy, and we realize that she is his daughter. In the past, we see Won Young had made a deal with the old light shop owner to swap places with her as the new light shop owner and brought the light bulb for his daughter. Scene shifts to Hai and Ju, noticing her mother isn't home, ventures out to look for her and meets Sung Won. He helps her realize something about herself that she hadn't noticed before. Hai and Jung realizes that people can't really see her as she is not in the present world but the afterlife. Later, Hai and Ju's mother returns with her light bulb, but Hai and Ju refuses to take it, choosing instead to stay with her mother. In the end, Hai and Ju bids her mother goodbye and departs with her light bulb. Meanwhile, Seon Hee visits the light shop and finds her light bulb. Her physical body briefly regains consciousness before Seon Hee deliberately breaks the bulb, causing her body to pass away. She returns to Hai Won at their house, and they decide to spend the rest of their time together in the afterlife.
앞으로 나십시다.
여기 좀 돼요. 여기 잘 되나요?
네, 세분 상이죠.
같이 사는 세상이 좋아요.
Scene shifts to Ji Young, who watches as Hai and Min enters the light shop, takes his bulb, and returns to the real world. Ji Young promises to follow him. Three months later, in the real world, Ji Woong successfully recovers and is discharged from the hospital.
내가 어디 있는지 지금 있는지.
잠잘 자고?
가끔 어느 날 헤매거든. 그게 괜찮아요.
근데 쓰지 말라고. 하나.
야, 거기도 뭘 받아치게? 됐어, 장영아. 앞으로 보지 말자.
축하드립니다. 저는 그날 어디서 들은 것 같아요.
무슨 말?
앞으로는 보지 말자.
New light bulbs arrive at the light shop, representing new accident victims caught between the two worlds. Sung Won continues working as a bus driver in the afterlife. Seon Hee and Hai Won live together as an ordinary couple, and Hyo Joo reveals that she did not take the post-treatment medication as she wants to remember her mom. She is still able to see the ghost of the girl from earlier episodes. Hyun Joo encounters a spirit, a student she met on the other side, who seeks her help.
나 우리가 친구 없었는데 네가 나한테 했어. 그 얘기하고 나 친구 없어. 그래서 왜 따랐어? 나 친구
Yoo Hui, Hyun Joo's mother, spends her time with Won Young and their adopted rescue dog. Meanwhile, Detective Yang Sung-sik, now back in the real world, meets the ghost of the man who had saved his life. The ghost reveals that he had been working to find misplaced spirits in the real world and send them back to the afterlife when he became entangled in the murder case. He explains that he had gone to deliver a meal to the elderly man and was mistakenly suspected. Sung-sik takes over the ghost's role as a detective for wandering souls, ensuring they return to the afterlife.
그래서 그거 하기 전에 마지막에 미리 찾았지. 해결할 일 많을까?
미리 만나는 거야. 나는 하는 게 계속하지.
Detective Yang also saves Youngji from the spirit of the truck driver who was in the accident earlier. He was angry as Youngji had ignored his treatment when he told her that he was feeling pain in his chest.
아우 고생이 오랜만이야.
양성식.
할 일이 많거든. 아버지 빨리 안 해?
At the same time, Hyun Min's health continues to deteriorate. Confined to a wheelchair, he is still unable to remember Ji Young. Ji Young confides in the mortician about Hyun Min's inability to recognize her, and the mortician suggests that she might be experiencing lingering attachment and needs to find peace. However, Ji Young cannot move on, and her haunting presence lingers around Hyun Min.
그날에 다시 시작을 불렀으면 좋겠어. 그날에 다시 시작을 불렀으면 좋겠어. 이렇게.
In the after-credits scene, Sung-sik encounters a victim from a school collapse, who was revealed to be Hee-soo from Moving. He later comes across Kim Young-tak from Timing, a resident of a haunted building, as the episode ends.